I will not value what is valueless. Somewhat because of the title, we think this is actually about avoiding what is valueless. Now, it's the same thing as talking about the illusion and how the illusion doesn't exist. It's a pretty remarkable thing when you actually get into it, that you realize this is talking about what is valueful. Say valuable? Is it valueful? Is that a good word? Valuable. Not what is valueless. Just like the illusion, and talking about the illusion of the world is not talking about the world being an illusion. It's talking about what is not an illusion. In fact, what is and has reality. That which is God. So in the same sense, as we're embracing a lesson such as this, I will not value what is valueless, it's more so in this recognition that it's trying to get a hold of this ego thing of yours and trying to make it a little bit kind of go down one way while it distracts the ego to go one way and lets you come another. So this happens all throughout this course, but in the sense of want you to obsess over trying to understand what is valueless. I will not value what is valueless. Well, I mean, geez. As of course it explains it very eloquently and beautifully in the sense of if it doesn't have eternal life, if it comes to an end, that is valueless. So it's interesting because you might think of, say, like your children's lives and your family and what it is that you find very most important in life. And you might find that they are, I mean, come on, guys, they're valuable, right? They are valuable. It is something worth living for, right? So that definitely has value. And yet, your children's life and your own will come to an end. So if you take it in the fashion of trying to understand it, well, if it comes to an end, then it must not be valuable. It does kind of take you an approach of being more of a satanic approach of having completely numb to all emotions and completely disconnected to all reality and just like, I don't care about anything. Bang, 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 bang. You know, I don't know if that's a gun reference or what. But in any case, this is a misunderstanding. This is a misunderstanding. So hopefully I'm quoted correctly. So to recognize what I am saying is that this is actually talking about what is valuable, the eternal. Okay? So remember, your goal is to recognize what is eternal. Your goal is to awaken. Your goal is to discover, say, the miraculousness of what it is that you actually are. Right? So if we can recognize that, if your goal is that, you have to start thinking in correspondence to that as your way of living, right? So, to think in correspondence to what you actually are requires that you actually recognize that eternity is what is, say, valuable. Now, of course, these words being valuable and valueless is a little confused because of the way in which we use it in the world. We might distinguish value depending on how much someone would pay for it, right? So depending on gold's value, for one, you got a bar of gold or something, is solely and completely dependent on how much people will pay for it. That's literally all it's dependent on, right? So how the supply and demand, is the supply less than the demand, or is the demand higher than the supply, or the supply less, or the value, whatever. And you might be somewhat of a master of figuring out those equations, but as far as recognizing that this is not about how much someone will pay for it. That's not what this value is referring to. The value in which this is referring to is essentially anything and everything you want. Yeah. So it's more about, if it be value of trade in any way at all, it's more like, what would you give up for everything you want? If you think of it in that fashion, and you take eternity as in the sense of everything that you have ever wanted, and happiness and joy, and everyone you love, there with you for eternity, would you not give up this world? Now, of course, I'm not in any way somehow condoning any sense of suicide or anything like that. That's not what I'm referring to. I'm talking about letting it all go because you have nothing to worry about. You can indeed let everything go because you will gain everything that is valuable in your life. You can forgive and let it go, even what seems to be temporarily, temporal landscape of time. For what is valuable will be there in eternity. I like to say it in that fashion, that you think you're leaving your family ascending the world. No, your family is not even here now. They are there waiting for you. Your real family, the people who you actually honestly love, are there waiting for you. You're the one delayed. You're the one behind, not them. You're not ahead of them. They are there waiting for you. So in that recognition, everything that you have value or you find valuable is there waiting for you in eternity. Simply one way of grasping and recognizing this reality. It's always been this way, as far as what is valuable and what is valueless. Sure, it's disorienting because of what you have been trained in this world to think of it. You, of course, think of value as what gives you satisfaction in life, or even gives you life, gives you happiness. This, in a whole confusion about what is real, is the fact that you associate. So I agree that anything that, let's say it this way, I agree, your life is valuable, but your association to your life being physical is a distortion of what is valuable. What is valuable, your life, is eternal. It is not partial. It is not temporary. It is eternal, forever and always.